The sun set gently over Jerusalem, painting the palace walls in golden light. King David, now old and grey, leaned on his staff as he gazed out from his balcony. The city below hummed with life. The same city that once echoed with his songs of victory, the same streets where he had danced before the Ark of the Lord. But now, his steps were slower, his battles fewer. Yet his heart, oh, his heart, still burned for God. And so, David began to sing. With trembling hands, he lifted his harp, and the sound of worship filled the chamber. The Lord is my rock, my fortress, and my deliverer. My God is my rock, in whom I take refuge. He is my shield and the horn of my salvation. Every word carried memories of caves and spears, of running and hiding, of tears and triumphs. He remembered the lion and the bear in the wilderness. He remembered Saul's jealousy, Goliath's roar, and the nights he spent crying out to God. And through it all, the Lord had never left him. David's song was not just praise, it was testimony. He had seen the depths of sin, the pain of consequence, yet still God called him a man after my own heart. As he sang, tears rolled down his wrinkled cheeks. He wasn't singing as a king anymore, but as a child, grateful to his father. But even in his old age, David stumbled. One day, pride whispered into his heart, "Count the fighting men of Israel. See your strength." Joab, his commander, warned him, but David insisted. When the numbers came in, his heart smote him. He realized he had trusted in numbers, not in the name of the Lord. Then came the punishment, a plague that swept across Israel. David fell on his face and cried, "I have sinned. These are but sheep. What have they done? Let your hand fall upon me and my father's house." And there, at the threshing floor of Araunah, David built an altar. He bought the land with his own silver and offered sacrifices. When the smoke rose to heaven, the Lord had mercy, and the plague stopped. That very place would later become holy ground, the site where Solomon would build the temple of the Lord. Even in failure, God was weaving redemption. The time drew near for David to rest with his fathers. But before his final breath, he gathered Israel, leaders, priests, soldiers, and his son Solomon. His voice, though aged, carried divine fire. "My son Solomon, know the God of your father, and serve him with a loyal heart and a willing mind. For the Lord searches all hearts, and understands every intent of the thoughts. If you seek him, he will be found by you." He handed Solomon the blueprints, the divine pattern for the temple that God had given him. Every detail, every measurement, every vessel, David had prepared them all. Though he would not build it, he gave his all to make sure it could be built. Then, before all the assembly, David gave from his own treasures, gold, silver, and jewels, for the house of God. And the people followed his example, giving freely and rejoicing greatly. In that moment, the old king smiled. He saw a nation united, not by sword or crown, but by worship. That night, as silence filled the palace, David whispered his final prayer. "Blessed are you, Lord God of Israel, our Father, forever and ever. Yours, O Lord, is the greatness, the power, the glory, the victory, and the majesty. His eyes grew dim, but his heart was full. He had made mistakes, grave ones, but his life sang one truth louder than all. God's mercy is greater than man's failure. And with a final sigh of peace, David, the shepherd, the warrior, the poet, closed his eyes in the presence of the God he loved. The harp was silent, but the song of his heart still echoes through time. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Every fall, every tear, every act of worship, David's story reminds us that God doesn't look for perfect people. He looks for hearts that keep coming back to him. If you've ever felt far from God, remember, His mercy is waiting to draw you near again.